Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Thank you all for being members. Welcome to the stream. We're going to start an exciting build today. And I expect this is going to last at least 3 of these streams. So we'll see how that goes. So how is everyone? Hey, Bill and David and Mansu. Hey, Colin. Hey, Maurice. Hey, Tuxedo. Hey, Brent. Hey, D Hazardous and Philip. Ink. And Gaushish. Is that right? It is a live session. Hey, Arthur. Who else do we have? Rod. Jose. PF Dennis. How is folks? What do we have? Great White. I'm doing well. I am trying to keep up. Trying to keep up. Hey, Josh. Hey, Steve. Hey, Shammy. Who else do we have? I scrolled too much, so now I've lost my place. Projects. Hey, Tohos. Hey, Scotty. My Sakura is printing as we squeak. Mine is too. I poorly estimated, or I didn't realize how much time one part would take. So a part that we need very early in the build is about to finish, but it means I have to go get it. And I'm also going to bring the printer over here in case I forget anything else. I could just start them over here. So, hey, Stuart. Yeah, I didn't realize that, Nero. It's hard for members stream to coordinate because often these aren't necessarily at a consistent time for either of us. I'm sure what we're doing here is a whole lot more fun than what they're doing there. So, hey, Poity. Hey, Marcus. I saw a mention of the Milo. I have tracking. So it's very soon. So, I'll only be here for an hour. We're watching a show. Who is the mole that starts in a bit over an hour? Okay, well, have fun, Maurice. Hey, Mark. Taking a shot. A friendly shot. V0 looks very unserious inside the Phoenix. I need to move that over here to be my I need to print something quick printer. What else? Farouk? Awesome. Started printing my parts for the Milo today. Awesome. I'm ordering LE parts and printing parts for Casa. Say I'm here under protest. I have too many projects to start the rancher. Okay, I'm building a dueling axe. Nice. This is what we're building today. Link is in the description, but this is 3dsets.com. I'm a big fan of these models ever since discovering them. I discovered them based on Prusa did a free, they made a free non-radio control version of their Landy and published it on printables and that kind of, and there was a little video and and then you find out that they make all these rock crawlers, and here, if we go to car and boat models, they make rock crawlers, and then they've expanded since then to 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive vans, and a boat, and a little mini, easier to build model. And the latest one that they've come out with that I could not resist immediately starting to print is the Sakura 240, which is a rear-wheel drive street inspired by the Datsun 240Z car. So let's see here. I see Phoenix has become a workbench. Every surface becomes a workbench. Ain't happen. RC is cool, too much projects, too little time. I get that. Is there a giveaway today? No, I don't do giveaways on Charlie's Angel streams. It just didn't feel like the right time to do it. But I've also noticed a few mentions that there might be problems in some areas if you do a giveaway only for somebody who pays to access. And that's what this is. You pay a monthly fee to access this stream. So I don't know how valid that is, but I like to play it safe, and it feels like the right thing to do. So, screw the car. Where's the neighbor's dog? The neighbor's dog is an absolute sweetheart. He is a big old zoomy, loves to get petted dog. So I enjoy when they go out of town and I get to feed him. May try to take him for a walk later. He is a powerful dog, but he loves the walks. Hey, Pathetic Puma. Hey, Andy. Wait, we pay? I thought you paid us. Hey, Martin. That's a beautiful car, but I'm biased. Oh, cat. Oh, yes. So the neighbor's cat is pretty cute. I've only just begun to, he's letting me pet him when he comes wandering into our backyard. It takes a little bit, but I think that depends on location. But since this is an online thing, it's definitely best to place it. Absolutely. So knowing that we have a worldwide audience here, I don't want to worry about it. Any plans to adopt a new little friend? Eventually. It's not imminent. We're not in a hurry. Hey, zombie, welcome. He looks like a pity, and they can be very sweet. He's very much a mix. I would not be surprised if there's some pit in there, but he is super friendly. So, okay. So this is what we will be building. This is basically the model I was waiting for to use the Brad's orange from Jessie Filament without knowing that this was the model I was waiting for, because this is absolutely perfect and the parts have turned out absolutely beautiful. So I'm very pleased with how they've printed. I started this by printing I noticed that this model, they included pre-sliced G-code for the Mark IV. I have a Mark IV. I figured I'd throw it at the filament, and here, let's take this out. And it turned out absolutely great. So I continued. So the vast majority, not every bit, but the vast majority of this printer, or this model, have been printed on the Mark IV with the pre-sliced G-code. But that is, just imagine what that's going to look like when it's all done. So, de-hazardous. This model is going to be about 20.5 inches long. Here, let's do this. So, it's going to be that long, and I don't remember, like 8 or 10, 9 inches wide. Did you update to the new 1.0.2 release files? Let's figure out what that was. I did not, but I did look at the release notes, and let me see what if you scroll down here, they'll talk about, here, let's go through here a little bit. So you got pictures. Color selection can kind of be interesting. You got to look at, they fortunately supply a lot of pictures of the models, so picking colors can be interesting. I'm going to want to reprint a couple of things, just looking at things again, but there is information, a little bit about the model, the drivetrain, the suspension, front and rear is independent, that kind of stuff. You can print tires or purchase off-the-shelf ones. Just comes to show that the slicing step can make or break your prints. That at my expense this week. Now there are, like, the hood, I could not get, no, it was the doors. The hood was fine. The doors, I could not get to print. I tried twice, and the prints always failed. And I think there might be something corrupt in the G-code. I'm not sure because I haven't really examined it. But as soon as I sliced the exact same file, same settings, myself, they printed just fine. I had 2 failures quite a ways up where it actually looked like the nozzle might have pushed down into the parts and moved them around. But they need to include a print list to help keep track of what you need to print. The plates are reasonably well organized. Here, let's go back here. So you can print or buy tires. I think I'm going to try both. That case is interesting too. I have a CNC router friend that gets ACM at wholesale. They have a case, yeah, for the model case. So different colors. There's a build guide and there's a list of non-printable parts. So the list of non-printable parts takes us to a Google Doc. One of the criticisms I have for 3D sets in general is they're pretty inconsistent in a few areas of parts they recommend, notably in shocks and tires. So you have to really kind of look around and figure out what is going to be the best combination. So shock lengths, they're very inconsistent. Maybe it's just a super wide range that'll work, but it can get a little confusing. So, but there is here with links, many of them on eBay or AliExpress, a few on Amazon. These tires are what I bought. I bought the recommended ones here off of AliExpress. And I have them. They've arrived. I also bought shocks off of AliExpress. So that's that. There is a build guide. We'll get back to that. We're going to cover that in detail. But if you keep going down here, they're going to tell us what the change log is. So there was a new version a few days after it was released that did some axle updates, front shock mount stuff. And then there's the latest update, which is a calibration print change, a windscreen glass helper STL. I didn't print that. I hope I don't actually need it. Hey, Mike. I think the casting RTV silicone for tires would make nice grippy tires. Probably. I have some Coex 60A TPU. I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm going to try. Do you have any thoughts on why every once in a while you'll encounter an STL that when sliced always ends up with layer shifts in the same locations with certain slicers? I don't. Not immediately, Michael. So, I have not printed the wheels, which was a change in the latest revision. And I won't be using 12 millimeter. I'm going to use the printed wheels, so I won't need this washer. I'm leaving it right-hand drive. They added left-hand drive parts. There is I'm probably missing a ball joint in the, from print 39 in the rear axle. I may have to print that separately. And these A pillars, mine printed fine. I'm going to leave them. They changed them to for some wall thicknesses in the windscreen glass area. If that becomes a problem, I'll reprint them. I've seen a lot of people who have issues without the windscreen tool. I just didn't have time to print it. This update came out. I mean, it's been out for 5 days, but I've been printing everything else that absolutely needs to be there for the build to be able to start it today. The plan for this build, the plan here, because it is a Charlie's Angels build series, it could, if I did it in our normal time, it would take well over 2 months if it's 3 streams, and then add a month for every extra stream. The intent here is going to be, this is the end of January. We're going to do a stream the middle of February, and then we'll do a stream the beginning of March. So maybe a 6-week period, ish, 5 weeks ish of builds to get 3 of these in. There's a possibility that I may do 2 Charlie's Angels streams in March if we're not done in 3 streams. I may do it anyway to get kind of back on track. I promise a minimum of 1 Charlie's Angels stream a month. It doesn't mean we can't do more, right? So, if it is done, it will absolutely be coming with me to Rocky Mountain, Zombie. So, let's get to it, because there's a lot to do. If we go to, back up here, they have a nice little Google Slides build guide. So if we click on this, we are going to get, maybe I'll make a Polymaker themed one. Nice. What kind of remote do you have? I have a Spectrum from like 15 years ago. Maybe not quite that long, but quite old. The problem is finding receivers that are compatible. I'm considering buying a newer FlySky remote for this kind of thing. I have the FlySky stick remote, which I bought for the Death Racer, but can be used for other things. I'm thinking about buying a pistol remote for these. And then just leave my Spectrum paired and set up with the other RC cars. So, hey Takuya. Takuya has been printing one of these. How far are you on your build on this? Have you started assembly? FlySky Noble is amazing. Okay. Let me see. I want to see which one that is. Noble. Is that right? Or is it Noble? Yeah, that's okay. Yep. Yeah, almost done with it actually. Great build so far. Awesome. Did I miss where to get the windshield windows? Here. The windshield and windows, there is a part in here in the non-printed list. You can use like clear packaging if you have a large enough flat area, as long as it's not more than 0.5 millimeters thick. I actually bought the recommended, if you scroll all the way down here, there's a transparent foil list, and it's on Amazon, and it is a PLA clear sheets. It's 0.4 millimeters. It's from Tamiya. I have it. This is it. So I bought it for this build and others, because they all of their builds, if it has a window of some sort, then it uses this stuff. But it's available on Amazon and probably other hobby locations since it's Tamiya. Okay, back to here. Does he send the mini? Does it use the same material as the mini 4x4 I built? Is that the clear material? Should be. Quality remote is a good investment if you're going to have multiple RC cars. Yeah. Do they still have remotes that you've paired with multiple devices and just select the RCM menus? Absolutely. Most of them, most of the decent ones beyond the very entry level have that capability. I like the orange body, but should have done cream color interior. Yeah. I like the brown. I'm gonna print the seats and center console and stuff in brown. And start printing of everything else but the bearings. Nice. Where was I? What was the other thing? The idea of the full cost for the car for all the parts besides the model. Somewhere around $100 US, maybe a little more than that, not including filament. Is it heat formed on a mold or something? No, you cut it, it's flat, and then it goes into spots in the model to kind of form it to shape. All but the Skippy builds, they have a print. Which Spectrum do you have? I may have a receiver or two from when I had the DX3R. I don't remember. Where is it? I think it's in the other garage. I like my Spectrum. It works really well. It's just getting receivers. I was wondering, I know my diode laser won't cut this directly, but I was wondering if I put some like a masking tape on it or something, if it would cut it well enough. Does anybody have any experience trying something like that? I have a feeling it won't, but hey, Majestic. Okay, so the build guide is pretty good. They're going to go through a few things here, talking about technical specs. It's 51 centimeters in length and 23 centimeters wide, including mirrors, and about 15.5 tall. It weighs about 2.5 kilograms. So, no, it won't cut through the transparent parts. I kind of figured. Maybe I'll call in a favor to Pooch and see if we can cut them on his lasers. Do you have a desktop water jet for cutting? Oh, you know what? I could probably do it. I wonder if it would work in my wife's Cricut, however you say it. Considering your large experience with 3D printing world, are you thinking to design my own project? What kind of project? Because I'm on the Voron design team, so there's lots of projects I'm involved in. Hey, Jaeger. Anyway, information. What's kind of cool on these models is all the doors and hatches and hoods open. And the door is actually open by pulling up on the door handle, which is neat. Hey, the name of 3D. Here's some information on the changelog that we went over a minute ago. And then something about getting started. There is a calibration print. I actually didn't print it, so hopefully this goes well. I'll by eye, looking at like print quality and stuff, top surface layers, I think we're gonna be fine. Nothing here looks over extruded. Everything looks pretty spot on. So, use some heat resistant filament for specific drivetrain parts. I haven't printed the diff, and this is specifically what they're talking about, is the differential. I will be using some sort of polycarbonate for the diff gears. I'm gonna try the PC blend from Prusament because I have some. I've never had good luck with it, but they have a pre-sliced G-code for it on the Mark IV, so I'm gonna give it a try. Hey, Evil. Mini servos for opening and closing the side windows. That would be really cool, but no. The Cricut would be a good tool to cut those PLA sheets. I keep forgetting to see if we can pull that out, find where my wife stashed it away and give it a try. What else do we have here? If you generate your own G-code, test one side body panel if you want to use Arachne perimeter generator. Parts are optimized for classic perimeter generator. Arachne may cause visible marks on the surface. Okay, so everything's divided into steps and sub-assemblies. We've got some radio control issues, things, and then other stuff that you need. I was actually able to find the belts because the transmission is a belt drive transmission, and those were available on Amazon. So I ordered those there. Yep, we're building the Datsun 240Z inspired Sakura 240 model. Does this build include obstacle avoidance sensor? Okay, required hardware. This seems to be pared down from some of their earlier models. There's still quite a number of very varied fasteners, and some of their other models, like the little mini 4x4, uses only a few M3s. Same with the Skippy boat, but there's only so far that they can cut this down in a model like this. Get a drag or knife cutter for your Shape Elko to cut the transparent parts. That'd be a good idea. The legally distinctive Sakura, yes. This is the print calibration piece that I did not print, although I do need to print it because it's got a handy little tool for inserting the ball joints. And I'm probably going to use, instead of a vise, I'm just going to use my Kinepix pliers. Okay, and this is where we start on the build. And this is where we immediately get into a quick Dancing Max break. Because these taillights, the Pet G taillights that I was printing in clear red, or transparent red, I didn't look at the estimated time to print number right. And I thought I was going to have time to get them done and then bring the printer in here and then do other stuff. But they're sitting in there. They're done. I just got to go get them. So I'll try using to cut the transparent parts nice. That was a Japanese name for the Datsun. It was Pink Lady, is that right? Or Fair Lady. Wasn't it Fair Lady? Fair Lady? I think. I will be right back. Give me a moment. Okay, I'm back. Hey, James. The Z model is still called the Fairlady in Japan, I think. Cool. Been a couple of years ago. Okay. Like I said, I brought the Mark IV in here because I know there's at least one more part we need to print that I hadn't. So these are just the Pet G models for the taillights. And then I'm gonna leave this right here and I'll power it on if we get to the point where we need the next part that I know I didn't print. So let's zoom in. Yeah, these turned out pretty good. They're not really set up like some of the other parts for, well, actually looking at it, I probably could have done a clear base and had that clear, and then it would be red, do the red last layers there. But I think this will look fine. Did I say hi, James? Hey, James. Let's see. So we have the light panel. So we need these part prints, so let's go back to a little bit about how the files are organized when you get them. Let me bring up my folder here. So here's the folder structure of, so the Sakura, and if you go in here, you get individual parts. So if you want to just print any individual piece, these are all, I don't think they have any modifiers applied to them, but I could be wrong. I haven't opened up too many of them. Any individual part you can go in and find. Or if you go to the ready to print plates and G code, there are generic printer plates with that are 3MF files that have Prusa slicer modifiers already built in. So if they say you really need to print these at 0.15 layer height, then it's in there. And then if it needs a brim, it's usually in there, that kind of stuff. Hey, Scott, welcome. I've been printing the Mark IV's G code for most parts, but not all. So anyway, when you look at these plates, if you look here, it says we're gonna need print 1 color change tail light. Well, there's print 1 color change tail light. And this is already set up with the color changes at the correct height in the 3MF file. Scott, this is my stream. A lot of people here are gonna remember Datsun. Anyway, there's a whole bunch. I've kind of split off these are the files for the most part, I still need to print. I've actually printed the floor mats, but the rest of it hasn't been printed. And there are a lot. I mean, 59, there are 59 plates. You don't have to print, I don't know that you have to print all of the wheels, but there are 59 plates of parts to print for this. So, okay, so print 1, taillights, color change license plate, and the tail panel. And then I customized the license plate. I was not very creative, but instead of saying 3dsets.com, I just put an SB on there. And I used some white filament to make it stand out a little more on the print. So, and then we're gonna need some M2x6s. I was short on the number of M2 fasteners that I would need. So I started going through my hardware, and I looked on Amazon and found just a couple of things. Then I started looking at my drawers and I realized, there's probably a few other things that I could stock up on, make sure I have enough. So I went to Bolt Depot, which is kind of my go-to when I want to order more fasteners. And this was only a few days ago, and I knew that I was going to need them for this stream today, but wires got crossed in my mind, and I put M2s in my cart in Bolt Depot. I put all the other stuff in my cart, and I placed an order, and then I realized, oh crap, that's not going to be here by by Friday for this stream. So I went back to Amazon and ordered the M2 hardware from there, and then they both showed up yesterday. As I type, my 2.4 is printing this. Got a long way to go. Only started this afternoon. Awesome, Mark. Excuse me. Dry throat. So now I have way more of these fasteners than I need. But the good thing is, beware when you order fasteners from Amazon. One of the packs, I don't remember which size, they're very dull colored, which means they don't have a lot of protective oil on them, or any. So they're gonna rust pretty quickly. I'll put something on them to try to save them, and then wipe them off just so they have some sort of coating. But yeah. I need to swap out the batteries on my UPS before I start this project. Totally around Orchard's multi-plate project feature. You could probably open all of these and it would separate them out to the same plates, huh? Anyway, let me grab, so there is going to be lots of post-processing on these parts. And I've kind of separated these out into colors, but it's still going to be a pain to locate all the parts. Figure out where there it is. Natural weathering, realism. Excuse me. So this is the rear plate. It does print with a brim. It prints just like this, no support. So it's a bit of an angle there, so that's why they put the brim on it. But we're gonna just bend, and it's all PLA, so this kind of thing generally kind of breaks off. And then I'll probably take my X-Acto knife and use it as a scraper to get the last bits of that. And we're gonna end up with all this kind of stuff all over the place. But so I'm turning the blade away. I'm not cutting in, I'm scraping backwards. And that usually works pretty well as a scraper for plastic. We're going to be doing lots of this. Now I know I have the nice deburring tool, but if you don't do that exactly right, the chances of gouging the plastic is pretty high, and it's almost zero doing this. Hey, Viney. I bet you would enjoy, if not already, putting scale models together. I did when I was a kid. I had a friend that we would build lots of old muscle car models. I'm gonna probably use this a lot today. So we have that, and then we have some tiny parts that I think are in here. I've got lots of things of parts, and I think a good part of this build is going to be finding the part. So we'll try to do some organization of parts in between streams because they are all over the place. Where did those go? They're not in any of these. Uh-oh. I know I printed them. I am missing them. So I'm missing these parts right here, which slide in between the this printed part. Deburring tools and imprecise rough tool. Do you have a display room for all your car builds? Not yet. I found that woodworking edge band cutter works pretty well. tend to stick to one. Most active thing in my hobby room right now is preparing for casa. I should, let me, I hate to do it again, but I think we need to bring out Dancing Max again, unless they're tucked in the bottom of this. I thought I had, oh, I know where they are. I know where they are. I just have to figure out if it's in here or if it's in the other room. I made a little baggie of teeny tiny parts. I think it's still in the other room, so I am gonna have to be right back. So, is that the real reason for the shed build? Well, in general, getting organized is the reason. I'll be right back, and then we can talk a little bit about the progress on the shed too. I'll be right back. Yep, I knew exactly where they were. I had done a bunch of color change, really small prints. And so, like all of these. Whew. So a lot of dash stuff, kind of a neat little 3 color change. Oh, come on. Yeah, little dials on the dash parts, but these 2 parts, what we need right now, which are, so just leave these in here. Is that the road? Oh, so the shed, I'm really close. I ended up with the wrong gravel for a proper shed foundation, so I removed it and put the correct stuff back in. And now I just have to compact it and then order the shed. Compact it and level it. Hey, Maker Viking. Okay, so, oops, I want to zoom in. I guess that's as far. I got to get back to my Trident build, so that means more PCCF parts for the toolhead. Nice. So how do these, is there a, let me zoom in here. Is there a particular, okay, so that is, there's a little ledge on these, a little edge that goes up, and I think they're symmetric in the other direction. They are. So that goes up, that one goes there, and that one goes there. Okay, so these go here. That means that if that's up, this just slides into the end, and I hope, yeah, just fits in there. It's a tight fit, and there's a little bit of stringing here on the Pet G, but those little details are kind of nice. Hey, BBs. Josh is out. See you, Josh. Okay, this one. And here. Those fit really well, so that's encouraging. When you talk about the shed, I always remember the Monty Python program, Arthur 2 Sheds Jackson. I have 2 sheds. Okay, so those are done. And then it is a bunch of, what are these? M2 by 6s. And I guess it just all screws into the back. So if this is up, this goes like this, and then this is gonna go into there. It was nice. I wonder if that's for some LEDs access. 2 by 6s. And I'm gonna use my neat little tiny 1.5 millimeter LDO driver that came in the, I think that, I've got a couple of these, but I think one of these came in the came in the switch wire kit. Have you tried the Orca slicer? Thoughts? I've used it. It's fine. I'm using it for a couple. I'm using it exclusively for a couple of printers. But I'm mostly still using Prusa slicer. Yeah, that is cool. That fit perfect. There's a lot of thread into plastic stuff on these. I don't know if there's much way around that. So cool. That goes in there. Tail panel. These are all in 2x6s, I think. Hey Bob, welcome. There's some clever slide-in parts later on that really stiffen the thing up. Nice. Okay, so that's the rear light panel. Come back out on this. That gets there. And then we get into the body work. So we'll assemble the body of the car. We're gonna have something that looks really cool before the end of this stream for sure. We need lots of fasteners, and I've got my selection here. And a bunch of prints. So let's just start here. So let's do the post-processing all these. And let me talk about something with this model. It is critical. It is absolutely critical with these models that your prints don't lift off the bed. Okay, maybe we'll go here. So they don't lift off the bed in the corners. What that's gonna do is change the geometry of parts that need to fit together with others. I've got an example here. So this part here is the rear. This is one of the very first parts that I printed after I printed those fenders. The rear pieces here printed perfect, didn't lift off at all. These were the first that I printed. The next thing I printed was the rear bumper. And if you look here, it lifted, it lifted on the side here. And if you look right, come on, you see that line right there? That's where the filament's bunched up because it's the nozzle is pushing into the part because it's lifting on this corner. That impacts the shape of this piece here that has to lock into here. And if you notice, that doesn't fit anymore. I discovered this very early on, so I spent a bunch of time working. I printed this like 3 or 4 times, this piece, because it wouldn't fit there very well. So bed, clean bed, good adhesion is critical. The way I ended up fixing this, don't laugh, I used hairspray. Hairspray was magic for keeping many of these parts stuck to the bed. So yeah, Takuya was saying they had a real trouble with the hood. Now, fortunately for me, once I'd done this, the hood turned out perfect first try. There is an artifact, you might be able to see it right there. If you, oh, yep, there, you can see it right there. But that's because there's holes on the back side, so it gets a little thin right there. Can't avoid that. I used, yep, Aquanet. In the US, it's Aquanet plain hairspray. No scents, no additives. That's the stuff. It is, Christopher. This is the 240Z. Which hairspray? They don't sell Aquanet anymore? Oh, I've had this bottle probably for 5 years. I stopped using it when I went away from glass plates on my CR10. So it is a very old can of hairspray. I don't know what I would get right now. Anyway, so this part is, I just brought it out as an example of a piece that it's really critical that things stick to the table. And there could be an area here where we have some trouble because I didn't notice. But this comes off. This is that same part with all of its support still on it. And it stuck. You can tell from that. There's an itty bitty tiny bit of lifting right there, but you can't see it in any of the layers. So yeah. And then this, just if we look at now the instructions, they tell us what parts of all of these are supports, so you don't accidentally break off the wrong thing. I bought a case of Aquanet on Amazon. I'll have it forever. Nice. I use Beld Weld for separation layer. It works for all plastic types. Aquanet reminds me of my mom. Okay, so then same similar thing. We're gonna bend all these off. There's an additional modeled in. So this is the brim, but then there's an additional modeled in piece here that just kind of breaks away. And there's another piece here that I think I'm gonna grab some pliers so I don't accidentally torque on the model in the wrong way. So we're just gonna focus our tweaking of this. Hopefully. Just kind of bend it back and forth, break that tiny. Clean up the areas where it's stuck a little too much. Hey, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I feel like you need to use AI's way forward to fix issues faced while printing complex parts. I could have gotten a 4.3 SPI screen. Felt like going all out and get a Pi CM4. Yeah. Okay, and then this is going to come off of here. And then it breaks right along that line right there. It should break off. Yep, here we go. And since that brim was all along there, I think there's there's a little bit over here. A little bit of cleanup right there. I don't know if the plastic scraping sound is coming through or not. That should be that, so that's cleaned up. View there. Scary way to hold the X-Acto knife. I have been doing that my entire life, Rudy. I have never cut myself doing that. I get it. I understand. Anybody who's here who has used that method understands that I'm fine. I'm going to continue to do it because I'm comfortable with it. That's, like I said, I've never cut myself doing what I was just doing. I get that it's not proper. It's probably not the way that you should teach someone how to do it. I would probably put myself in more risk by trying to do it another way just to try to do it properly. So, because it's not comfortable for me. So, I get it, and I completely agree. It's just, that's what I've always done, so. Okay, we have a bunch of parts on here. Now this one, I had taken them off. I still need to clean up the brims, but I wanted to get some of the pictures that I've posted from that one. So, yep, we're just gonna kind of work this around. Some of these really modeled in, it works so well. There we go. And then that just breaks off of there, and this is perfect. There's no cleanup needed right there. Got a little bit of wasted plastic. And then this comes off of here. So we're going to start up here and just, some of these you just kind of bend back and forth. Hey Daniel, welcome. I think it's the most common way rather than the right way. Yeah. I tripwire by rolling it on my thumb with a knife. Got 8 stitches when I tried to do the right way. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cool? And then you've got, that is really clean for supports. I don't know that you'd get that clean if you did like organic supports or something on there. Just found some translucent PG in my filament stash for the taillights. Nice. And then there's another one that's just gonna break off and just give, there's no cleanup needed there. Hey, it's Black Point from Switzerland. Welcome. Now, there are some overhangs that get a little extreme. Just gonna break off the major offenders there. Yeah. So I know I could save quite a bit of time in this build by having done the support removal, but I thought it was important, at least for a good part of the build, to actively remove them. Fingernail scraping through there works pretty well. Now, talking about X-Acto knife safety, when I was a kid, I learned a lesson. So I was having poor habits in cutting with one of the larger handles. I was like 16 at the time. I was working on my bike, and I was cutting a thing off of the bike frame, and I was pushing I was like way over here. I was pushing on this thing and I was holding something here. You probably get where I'm going with this. I was pushing on a thing to cut and it let loose, and I was pushing hard enough that I went all the way across and stabbed myself. There's still a scar. You see that scar right there? That scar right there. I went in, and when it went in, I felt the nerve get cut. So to this day, this half of my thumb is not, I can feel it, but it's a different sensation. So that has always been my reminder. I never put pressure on cutting in that kind of way. And then I think this. There we go. Bones heal, chicks discard, and glory lasts forever. This is also, when I'm pulling it, when I'm doing this, I'm pointing the blade, the soft edge of the blade is what's coming towards my hand. See? Excuse me. I know I'm spending a lot of time on talking about why I'm doing this, but carving chef pieces of the team, the chisel went straight through a leather work glove like an inch into my hand. Ouch! I don't know what's up with my throat today. There's a tiny brim on this one. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Just like peeling potatoes. Yep. Although I've cut myself peeling potatoes. Okay. That is cleaned up. That one's the side with the gas flap. This one I'd never done, so let me scrape it. These surfaces right here that I'm scraping aren't going to be visible. The roof hides them. So how bad is that coughing coming through the stream? I don't know what's going on because I feel fine. I've just got a scratch in my throat. How far did it go with the Phoenix build? I haven't made any real progress on it. I need to sit down and record the next bit, which is basically wiring. The other thing that kind of slows down is there's been some changes to the dev that's going to take some work to swap out. So okay, that's one part. And then we have the, oops, those are there. Not bad. Noise canceling works great. Awesome. Troubleshooting stealth burn LEDs should be continuity through the LED from data in to data out. I don't know. If this keeps going, I'm gonna go grab a throat lozenge, a cough drop. See if that helps. Okay, last part is these. So this is one of the parts that they talked about. There's a revision. I suspect it's for right there that I didn't notice before. See that little spot there? We'll go with it, but I think it'll. So anyway, let's bend all these off. Almost sounds like you bumped the mic or something. It's not bad. You can tune it out. Awesome. Yeah, I'm drinking. I've switched over to water from the coffee because that's gonna be better for that. You can see that phone screen is pretty small. It's spool bus. And then there's a piece right here that go. This is a pretty fragile piece. That's just like this. There's this, just that connecting that. So I've been careful with those. Grandpa's cough syrup works well. Phillips bit going to my index finger with most of my body weight behind it. Ouch! Oh, you called, oh yeah, my shirt. Oops. My what about shirt? I didn't see your comment. I missed it. Okay, now we've got lots of brim cleanup. And there's a little channel in there that the window goes into. I may try, in between streams, I may try reprinting this to see if that got corrected, because I think, no, I think that's under, actually looking at it, I think that's under the roof, so that doesn't matter. How quick can this thing go? I've never seen you drive one of the builds. Didn't I post a little clip of driving the Sandy buggy? That's the only other actual RC build, car build I've done, I think. I found a PTFE retainer on your Discord, printed it, and it's a game changer for me. So much easier to load and unload filament with a reverse Bowden. Awesome. And I will, for the remainder of these, I'll do some pre-stream cleanup, because you've seen all my, well, I've probably seen all the methods I would use. So we don't have to sit here and watch me. I kind of didn't realize it would be so much. Okay, that one's done. Where is the other one? Oh, here it is. Is brim recommended by the designer, or do you opt for it? So I did the pre-sliced G-code for much of this, Daniel, and yeah, they recommend it. And it's probably wise. A lot of these are really small surface area on the build plate and long parts. Hey, Shammy. Head scratcher had a V0 RP2040 display and the screen doesn't come on. Replace screen, still doesn't come on, but Clipper think it's fine, just no display. I haven't seen that either. And I also haven't actually installed my RP2040 version yet. I need to. It needs to go on the gold V0 because the STM one failed. Or I think it's causing the problems on my V0 not starting up properly sometimes. I think it's the display MCU that's not coming up and causing Clipper to freak out. See you, Maurice. Okay. Whew. One thing I am trying not to do as part of talking about what I'm doing here and safety is I'm trying not to rush this. So if I rush it, I am likely to hit the soft bleedy bits. But if I don't do this, then things aren't going to fit together properly. You want to make sure you're on the edge of these because PLA doesn't clean up. Like ABS, you can use a heat gun usually to get some, to restore an area. PLA doesn't work so well with that. Okay, I think that is good enough. More for the bin. For the bin and the floor. I like this kind of project. Reminds me of the model cars I built as a kid. Oh yeah, so much work on those. Getting flashing off of the parts and cutting them off the sprue trees and sanding and painting. So much more than this. Okay, and then I guess we have the pan, which is actually over here. This was a big part. And there's a couple of little supports in there to remove. But this is a big old part that printed pretty well. I mean, it sits on the bed plate like that. And no supports, no extra brim. Those two surfaces there were enough. Now you can see tiny little lifts in the corners. but I don't think those are going to be significant or cause any problems. There are two supports here, which I'm going to just pull those out. Although I imagine Steve isn't going to stuff it full of black cats later and try to blow it up. No. No, not after all the print time. I've been printing this. I mean, I haven't made sure that the printer was going 24/7, but I've been printing this since the day it came out. I bought it the day it came out and started printing. So, okay, supports are removed for that section, so we can save more for later. Marked spots are fragile until parts are assembled together with the cockpit and A-pillars. Be careful when removing from the printing bed. Okay, so now we have the body. And we have a lot of fasteners and things. So let me do some looking for... this is all PLA? Yes. It's all PLA. The taillights. The red taillights here are PETG. And I'm really pleased with how that turned out. It's cool. I have got... What are those? There are so many pieces in this thing. What were... Oh, those are silver. That's why. So I'm looking for these little... They're listed as black in here. It's these parts here, which are the locks for it, but they printed with the roll bar, which I printed silver. And I actually printed that roll bar and these parts on the switch wire. There we go. These guys here. I printed these, and I printed the oil cooler, not intercooler, and the radiator all on the switch wire. And they turned out really good. 2 plates printed so far, only 57 to go. Yeah. Hey, Stephen Poole, welcome. I think we're gonna need that soon, so I'll leave that out. I need those, and I need the little gas cap. I think that's in the little baggie of parts. Yeah. The lid is what they call it. There's 2 of those. These guys here. These are itty bitty color change parts. You really want to make sure that your build plate is clean and works well, because that's all the surface area. It doesn't print with a brim. It just prints like that. And it worked out, but the first one actually failed. First time I tried it, failed. Okay, those. Okay, so now we grab this. And there are a lot of stuff with sacrificial layers for holes. So they recommend grabbing a drill bit. I'm surprised they didn't actually say it up here. Oh yeah, here it is. So 2mm drill bit to take care of those. Let's see if I can get my pin vise. Stare it. Pin vise. Two plates. Okay, so now these guys go in there, and 2x6 to hold it in. These do not need to be tight. Just has to hold it in. So tomorrow we are going to start, I'm hoping we should be starting on the Rook build. I'm frantically trying to get the rest of the parts printed. We are going to unbox it, go through all the parts, start doing assembly, talk about it, that kind of stuff. That build will get interrupted by the Milo build, but I feel like it's going to need to be, because we're going to get to certain parts on the Rook build where either I'm going to want to do something a little different or think about how I want to do something. So the Milo or the Rook build is finally starting, but it may be, I'm going to allow it to be interrupted, not just for Milo, but if I decide that I want to do something different, because there's lots of options out there, and I'm building the Fabrico kit, and I'm going to start with all the Fabrico parts. But if I feel something needs to be shift in a different direction on that, then I might change things as we go. I printed the Fabrico GitHub stuff for the Rook, and that's just, it's easier for me to just start there, and then we can go from that. The other thing is we need to put these guys on, which are going to sit in here, and those get in. Oh, those are in 2x8s. Interesting. I wonder why. They're not really engaging any more threads than the others. These are kind of neat because that's just kind of a little spot where an M3 socket head snaps into place to act as the latch, the closing mechanism. I did one with Fabrico parts, came out really nice. Rook number 69. Okay, well that's encouraging. Ian. Ian. The intent is still to give away this build when I'm done. So I one of my motivators for wanting to make sure that some certain aspects of the build are right is that it needs to be able to survive shipping. And there's one thing that I know in the Fabrico parts, and maybe the original Rook, but the power supply is not supported on both sides. So I'll either, one way or another, that's going to have to be fixed. Is either model a brace to go in there or change fundamentally where it goes. That part sounded dense when it hit the table. These kind of funny coming from one members only stream to another here. What is Taylor done with his members only stream, and what did he cover? Okay, those are there. With Fabrico parts, I might be a little worried about the front idlers and shipping. I'd probably want to at least debelt it. Okay, at least loosen the belts and kind of tie things in place. Probably. Okay, I think this is all of it. So what did Taylor go over on his stream? Body. Okay, so this one is, oh, there's an M3. Oh, the M3x6. Okay. Where did I put those? Because I have some special M3x6s that I used in another project that will be perfect for this. Because M3x6 socket head isn't in my normal list of parts. M3x6 socket head is not in my normal build out of printed parts. But so in most of the socket head screws you get, you see they're serrated, and don't mind the blister from shoveling. You see they're serrated. The Prusa fasteners have a smooth head, but they don't have M3x6. So I bought for another project smooth head M3x6s, and I think that'll actually help for these catches working well. And what these are is in the door is a catch for when the door closes, and that's all that's for. So let's grab this guy. Added a screen to what? He mounted a camera and added a screen. They're not supported from the top, which looks really neat, but I don't know how well that would take a good bump under tension. Okay. You start too early for me. I'm not usually among the living until noon. Same exact blister from shoveling snow. A lot of talk. Well, I mean, that's basically what I've been doing, right? A lot of talk. Nero modded a cam setup, tried to weld ABS filament together, and did some other miscellaneous stuff. Nice. So that just screws in, and all this is the catch for the door. So it's not actually holding anything. Oh, added the external screen to his camera. Got it. I don't know how long we're going to go today. We'll go as long as until I get really hungry, probably. We'll go at least 3 hours. I don't know if we'll go more than that. But that is all of this step, right? 2x6. All those are in 2x8s. And then the next one. So now we're going to put this together. With the back, we're going to use some M3x8 button heads. Figure out where I put those. Nope, button heads. 3x8 button heads. And M2x8, where does that go? Oh, okay, I see. So this is here. This is here, and see how much better that fits in there than the other one. So let me make sure. I think I've got a spot here that's keeping it from being perfect. Hey, Lutian. Hey, Rudy. Is that a fair lady? Yep. A lot of talk, I meant. Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think I'm hoping the appeal to streams like Taylor's or mine is a lot of talk. Because although a lot of it ends up being hopefully passing on methods and stuff, the intent is not really to be a how-to. It's more follow along with a build and pick up some stuff as you go, right? Okay, just making sure these are as clean as possible in those areas so that I don't have to be scraping on this when they're partially together. This up here is fine. Okay. So these go in here, and there's an M2x8 that goes in the top, and then a M3x8 that goes in the side. Studying up on different CNC mill software options while listening. I think I'm going to try to just get myself used to Fusion 360 cam. I pay for a Fusion 360 license, so I think I should probably use it. Okay, I'm just eyeballing this and how I'm gonna go Let's see if I can get a M3x8. Hey, John. Hope this, hold this. This should go right there. Now, my driver is not quite long enough to get a good angle on that. And I know that the one that is in on the table, so I'll be right back. There we go. Okay, so, Sanity. Ball end driver. I don't know if that's coming through. That was loud. Okay, and then it was in 2x8 into the top here. This goes, oops. Still working on my morning cup of tea. Dancing MZ is the new Macarena. There we go. So that screw and that screw hold this for now. And then I guess we do the other side. You still using an M4 extruder on anything? Yeah, become my go-to for Bowden setup. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I'm trying to get my Legacy back into operating shape before Rocky Mountain. Oh, well that's not fun. It didn't actually thread in. Okay, let me redo that. Thread it into this piece. I'm just gonna intentionally strip that so it's easier. That piece should be stripped. It didn't actually thread into the other piece before that. It was just pushing out. So that goes there and that goes there. Let me actually put some pressure on this. Now it's working. How's G2Z? I like it. It's working really well on the printers that I'm using it on. Yeah, and that side, those line up nicely. So that was good to pay attention to the print quality on those. I like G2Z on the printers. I'm gonna add it to another printer. Let me start this with this one. Switch over to this one. And you know, what size printers do you have Z2G on? G2Z on. I have it on my 300, the blue and the blue and Lulzbot green V2, and I have it on my space gray Trident. There, that gives you an idea of how wide this is. Okay. So I think that is that for that step. Getting those on. Get to see what this is starting to look like. And the roll bar in. So the roll cage goes in. There are M2x6 from the top, and M2x12 is coming in from where? Where is that coming in? Where is that going through? Oh, okay. Wow, that's not clear. So this M2x12, you got to follow this along. You see the line extends, it goes into here. And the same thing here, goes in through here. So there's M2x6 and M2x12. Let me find my... There we go. Do you know how far the development of NEMA 17 G2Z is? Oh, I have no idea. No clue at all. It just stops. You won't be disappointed. This is what I was talking about with the Amazon M2s that I just got. See how dull they are? They don't have I don't think they have a proper coating of kind of protective coating on them. Like some of these others are shiny. These are the other ones I got off of Amazon that are shiny. Those are dull. I'm gonna probably take all these out and put them in a little baggie with just a little bit of oil and just get a fine film on them. But anyway, I need to find bulbs. Okay, these the 12s. Yeah. 2 of those. Okay, this is going to start tying all of this together. So this goes up in here. There's a couple of notches there that it fits into. Let's see how well. I think those are gonna fit in just fine. Make sure there isn't any bits there to kind of clean out. Get in there, get that one little piece of filament. Little dangly piece of filament there. I didn't want to. There we go. Anything over here? Just making sure that's all good. So I think I'm gonna put those in first. That fits in there like that. Why not stainless steel screws? Because it was about the aesthetic for most of this. I just figured that black was going to look better. That's totally subjective. So there's a lot of feel necessary to make sure you don't strip these screws. Titanium screws. There's a lot of feel, and I guarantee there are going to be some of these that are just going to strip. I'm not going to feel it right at some point. Whew. Now I got to get in there. So I'm probably, well, I might be able, I think this will be a fine driver actually. Prior to 3D printing, did you ever dabble with RC? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Talking about their gas-powered RC cars. Yep, I had gas-powered cars, and I had well, brushed and brushless. So figuring out when I actually hit that hole there is going to be kind of interesting as this threads in. Oh, there, I think it's got it. And this, this probably actually provides some stability to the body. There we go. Okay. No single dry pad on the 240. Oh, well, that's good to hear, Shammy, that you at least found it. Screen shoes and not the optimum pitch, not the optimum thread type for self. Although realistically, it's fine. Trying to get all the correct sizes is probably much more difficult. There we go. Okay, so that holds this together. So now we've got a fairly stable rear part of the car here. I had a Nitro RS4 with 2-speed trans. That thing flew. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that is that. And now we're on to put the tail in with 2 M3x8s right into there. So this is going to start. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So 2 M3x8s. Right into here. Hey, Rexo. Previous sets need to do a giant white caddy with horns on the hood. Well, leading up to, and just talking about other models, not necessarily related to caddies or horns, leading up to this release, they had a post on their Facebook group about what they think. Is it going to be rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive? They've set themselves up for a series of road cars, and I'm really excited to see what comes next. An all-wheel drive, I would love to see like a 22B Subaru WRX model that's all-wheel drive. That would be awesome. And it feels like it would be in line with the kind of thing that they might do. But look at that. Isn't that awesome? Absolutely loving that. Second nature to look for Gates logo to make sure it's right side up. It's perfect. Okay, so that's there. And then, oh, we put this on already. So this is the trunk floor. And we've got a nut. And, okay. So I've got a trunk floor. And there are, what goes there? Where does that go? M3 nut goes where? Oh, it goes in here. Okay. So that goes in here. And I don't think I put any screw into there yet. Hey, 1 liter, Peter. Then you could mill a miniature boxer engine on your Milo. So I've shifted gears now. So now that I know that I'm building a Milo, it's going to mill the Tic Tac parts. That's the goal. It's a boot. M3 hex nut. We need an M3 hex nut. And we need a bunch of other fasteners. So that's what we're gonna do there. Oops. Where does that go? Is that just a fastener that's just kind of floating there, a remnant? Is this like a Dunnar cursor, but just the random unused fastener? Okay, so this goes in here. Ah, so there's a there's these features here that slide in to those features there. There we go. What colors are you doing for Milo? A black and Fusion Red Dwarf. Fusion Filaments Red Dwarf. Did people see the highly modded Ender 3 printing a Benchy in 2 minutes and 9 seconds? That is ridiculous. And these are M3 by 8s back here. So put those in. Fusion Red Dwarf, what make? Well, it's Fusion Filaments Red Dwarf. Fusion Filaments Red Dwarf. Oop, that is not wanting to actually hit. There we go. Yeah, I just had to get the right spot holding on. I posted a picture of my 280Z on this stream Discord. I think it was about 23 in the picture. Oh, nice. Let's see. The reprint some engine detail. Did you print? Oh, so there's two stream chats, folks. If you're on the, you only see the other one if you've linked your YouTube account. But that's cool. I like it. There's a Charlie's Angels stream chat. If you've linked your Discord, YouTube to Discord, so you get the auto roll applied. So that's a good reminder for folks. If you do that, then it will auto apply rolls and set up the color names and stuff like that to you. That's a tighten until you hear a snap and then loosen it a little bit. Okay, so those are in, and then this nut goes in here. And that can be helpful to just kind of push in through the hole there and pull it in all the way. So that nut's in there. Could you guys hear that little crack? It wasn't that loud, but I wouldn't be surprised if it came through. Okay, so that's in, that step is done. Then we've got the floor pan here. It's gonna get a couple of nuts there, a couple of nuts there, and a couple of nuts back there. Okay, so let me just get this out. So we have this, 2 nuts here. Get a little back of this, push that in, hopefully. It's being a pain. Okay. Let's clean this up a little bit around here, because that was the build plate facing surface. Wow. It's not actually going in there. Way of, here, let's try, what do I have around here that I can use? It's a little more stable for pushing on that. Jeez. Okay, that's interesting. That is not going in. Oh, what do we got? Hey, 1-7. Okay, let's clean this up a little more. Really good luck with Fadus plated copper nozzles. However, any that have a non-stick coating should be good. Just avoid brass. For what? What are we? These just aren't going in at all is the problem. Ah, there we go. Get it past. I think they're designed to snap in there so they don't come out. But that was just a little extra. I just need to put the little extra on it. It's going in at an angle. Clean up what I pushed on. Did you hear that snap? It was satisfying. It wasn't a crack, it was a snap. There's a difference between a crack and a snap. Jeez. That is really... That is really tight. You still around, Takuya? Did you have trouble with these? There we go. Whew. It's not coming out, at least. Let's see how the others are. We got two that go back here. Oh, that's the wrong kind. Just do some pre-cleanup on something I saw there. There we go. That wasn't as bad. I had this problem too, but with Sandy model. Yep, and that one went right in. Make sure it's just not going to fly out. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the inside here. These have the problem in not having a very good angle at being able to clean up the hole there. Oh, yep, that's going to be a problem. Came out, yep, that one came out. I'm going to put a temporary screw in here. Are there any? Yes, there are 3D sets that are considered beginner friendly. The 4x4, the mini 4x4 is probably an example. Both of those are in there. Which one came out? Okay, I'm just putting some screws in here just to make sure these ones don't fall out on me later. Oof, I need coffee. I was wondering why I couldn't donate members. Oh, thanks, Daniel. I have a shutdown button, an enclosure lights button, a disco button. Oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Never mind. Okay, those are in there. Those aren't coming out, so I'm not going to bother there. But this, I feel like it's probably going to be about the same. These may not. Trying to make sure that it's obviously supposed to go in on the flats. The shutdown button and enclosure. Put in a temporary screw and glue the nut with a dab of CA glue. That's not a bad idea too. These are not very friendly for getting in, and definitely not very friendly for getting in here and adjusting. I think suspension bolts into these. I think the suspension bolts into these, so this is why it's captured nuts instead of just threading into plastic. Oh, boy. Stronger tweezers. Try this. These are not. The suspension is killing me. This is kind of a little frustrating. This is not. And I can't say that it's not because of some print settings. But this is way tight. And I think I would guess that they're trying to make sure that they don't fall out. So they were probably designed to be tight. I remember about the mini 4x4 model that's simple and more cheaper. Yeah. They don't use threaded inserts? No. Even though I'm pretty sure 3D sets, well, I guess it doesn't matter. 3D sets is from the Czech Republic. I was going to say even though that, but Prusa doesn't use heat sets either. Okay, now I can get in here and hopefully not break the thing and use it. Jesus. Wow. I don't want to pull on that. Aha. I think I can get in there enough open these up enough? Oh, not quite. Not quite. I need the bigger ones. I need the bigger ones. Oh, I know what I can push on it with. So it's not slipping as much. Get some more. Jeez. Soldering iron? Yeah. That's probably not a bad idea. It's so close. See? It's almost in there. Now heat up the side of it. Hold it against the edge of the table and lean down on it. I don't want to break the part. I'm being really careful not to break the part. I think you folks are right. If I just put a little bit of heat on the side here, I can get it to get in there without deforming the part too much. Just a little bit. Ooh. Are you kidding me? So I did all of that and it just falls right out. That means I'm pushing plastic in there. So let me... It took all of that to get it in there and the thing falls right out. Okay, so it's right there. That's heated up. Let's just put it right on the corner here. So we have hopefully some control over how hot that gets. There we go. Use my finger as a heat sink to cool it down. Because I don't want that to stay in there too hot, because it is a PLA part. And right now it's too hot, so let's put that screw in there to pull some more heat away from it. It's in the right spot still, so that's good. Let's do it again. That probably needs some tweaking, because that is not a fun part of the build. I'm going to turn my iron way down so I'm not getting it as hot too. There we go. I was trying to only put the iron on the very corner of the hex nut too, to try to control how much heat was going into it, but it got hot quick. Okay, that's done. We're past that. That was ridiculous. All that time was for that one step. Oh. Okay. Okay, so we got a lot of bits here. So we are going to put this up in there. So we're going to follow this bit here, which is putting that in and building up the front part here. So this is going to go in This goes right in there like that. Okay. Oh. So there is a M3x8s that go into the back here. I think that's where I'll start. M3x8 right there. How many screws does this kit need? I can show you here in a second, John. It's quite a few, but not an obscene amount, I don't think. The fastener count is right here. So M3x8, it uses 91 M3x8. So yes, and 58 M3x10s, and 40 M3x16. So yes, it uses a lot of fasteners. Okay, back where we were, we have this. So this is what I'm working on right now, is figuring out all of the fasteners and what order to put them in to get this together. So this goes, that dovetailed? No, this just goes up into here. There. Snaps in there, and that's gonna go there. And then this gets a M3x10 going in the back of that. There, and then it is 3x10s going into the side here. That'll lock this guy into place. See, titanium does make sense to reduce the weight. Yeah. There is so much cleverness to these models. That's what I like about them. I mean, to make something this, a vehicle that's this curvy, right? That has body lines like this, and to make it printable and the end result look like it does is pretty cool. So that's on there. Go ahead and put the other one on. Just making sure I got all the stuff. And I was cleaning them up before. So this goes up in there like that. I'm going to channel my inner Phil Morris and make a coffee. I have an A10 and SR71 sitting for years I should finish. I never really got into aircraft models or ships or anything like that when I was a kid. It was all about muscle cars. It was all about muscle cars and not even really so many like supercars. Although a Countach or something like that was fun, but like a 67 Camaro or a Charger or something like that was a lot of fun. The scale of Steve Built builds are a little more practical for me. Yeah. Okay. So we're starting to get quite a bit. What else do we have? And there is a roof brace. Did I print the roof brace? I don't think I printed the roof brace. Uh-oh. Is that a... So that's this part. I was wondering... Okay, let's look at the files. Roof brace. There's so much to this. Where is the roof brace? Roof. It should be in here. Is it part of another plate? Let's find out. So I think we can come up here, and for this section, it had a plates that we were going to need. Here. A-pillars and brace. Is that print 9? So if we look at print 9, oh, I did print it. If I printed these, which means I printed that. I just have to find it. Printed these. So that means I printed it. I just have to find it. It's possible it's in the other garage and I didn't recognize it as a part, so I didn't put it in the boxes. It may have looked more like support material than print. So let me go find it. I'll be right back. Let's do a Dancing Max again. Way too many Dancing Maxes today. Yep, found it immediately. First place I looked. First place I looked. So the little brace. See, easy to miss. Okay, where were we? So the roof brace goes on with M3x8s, and it goes in right here. Oh, I guess it goes in right there. Interesting. Oh, I think that just kind of holds it sideways, I guess. Nah, I won't do it. How bad is that? Does it get worse if I'm talking? I should have given a headphone warning. Should have given a headphone warning. Not bad. It's really bad in person. There we go. Okay. Roof brace. Would it be a bad idea to paint it? To prepare it by adding filler, sanding down, adding primer, and then some metallic color paint and spray? That would be awesome. But I absolutely adore this filament color. So, like I said, this is the model I was waiting for without knowing it for this filament. This is freaking, I'm super stoked about it. Okay, so that's those two. All of those are in. Those are in. And, oh, did I get the ones from, yep, I got those. Okay, so that step is done. I'm not looking forward to the, not looking forward to the window part, but we are going to do dash and the neat little dash and all the little pieces that make up that. So a lot of these are little swap filaments for some accents. A little bit of stringiness. But it gives it a neat little look. And the vents and gauges, I showed these earlier, but I did 3 color swaps here. So silver backgrounds, red dials, and black bezels. How do you change the text on the license plate? That was a pain in the neck, I gotta say, because I couldn't figure out how to do it in Prusa Slicer. I tried importing the STL into Fusion 360 and that went bad. For such a small part, it was, a lot of facets and Fusion was having trouble with it. And then it was making non-manifold parts, and I ended up doing it in Windows 3D build or thing, Windows 3D viewer, which I showed just a second ago. Oh, I closed this. Why did I? Nope, there. I don't know why I closed that. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Here, and I opened up actually, I opened up the individual file. I think it was, is this it? Yeah, license plate. So I opened this up in this 3D modeler and cut it and deleted the letters and then did an emboss for the other. I did it all within here. There's probably better ways to do it. Tinkercad I probably should have, because I have zero experience. Absolutely zero experience with Tinkercad. And I probably should have tried it in Tinkercad, actually. 3D Builder, that's it. I should have taken the opportunity to actually do something like that. What do we got here? First, we're gonna remove some supports. So we've got this piece, which is the dash, and it's got this printed like this. So it's got this big ol' built-in support there that comes off really nice. No cleanup necessary, and there's no brim, so we're done. Okay, awesome. That's done. That can go in the trash. And the steering wheel, it's kind of cool because it prints like this with this. There were some supports that were underneath here that got broken off before, but this should just kind of, there we go. That's pretty clean. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a round surface on top of some modeled in support. There's a blank plate now too? Is there? I didn't see that. That would have made it a little easier. They should really just give a step file for that little piece. That would be nice. So, steering wheel. Oh, there was a piece under here. I guess it came out earlier. modeled in support there. Okay. So are these going to snap in there, or are they going to need some glue? I imagine they might need some glue. And which one goes where? Let's zoom in here so I get it correct. Good people are designing parts for 3D printing. Yeah. You would find Tinkercad frustrating and make new parts, but a quick edit, it's easy, it's designed. Yeah. Still breathing, can't complain. BBs, I'm just amazed how, yep. Doing Escher. Okay, we are going to put all of these in, hopefully in the orientations they want. And I really don't know if these, I feel like I should probably just put a little dab of CA glue on them anyway. Probably. Uh-oh. My CA glue is ultra thick. I think it is, I might not have a choice here. What's this? This'll work. What is this? What is this? John, now you say it's my birthday weekend. Does that mean your birthday's tomorrow? Does that mean your birthday's tomorrow, or does it, or are you extending the definition of birthday to, okay. It was on Thursday. Happy birthday, John. Let's get everybody to say happy birthday. Okay, I am a little worried about making sure these are all nice and straight, because this is going to be important for them to be straight. So I have little bits to clean off on there. Other than that's that. My birthday year, since I only get that date once every 4 years. Ah, well, at least you get a true birthday this year, Scott. Okay, so that's gonna go in there. Do these, ooh, are these actually designed to have, oh, I like it. Okay, I don't think I need the glue. I don't think I need the glue. I think it doesn't say glue, and I kind of made an assumption that we would need it. But I don't know if you can see, but down in there is a tiny little tab, a little notch. And on these are a little modeled piece that's gonna help line that up. TPU would be great for that cockpit and even softer for seats. Okay, so as long as I get this down and in there, I should be able to push that in, and it's going to stay there at least well enough, I think. If these fall out, then it means that I get an opportunity to glue them in. But I'm gonna go with that they will work fine. And if you look really close on this, if I had looked closer, you see these little modeled in tabs on here. There's one there. They're all over the place. So let's go ahead and get all these in then. Isn't that cool? It is so neat. I love it. Where are the tabs here? Itty bitty guys. Yeah, they just kind of snap in there. I don't think you're really trying. You haven't added LED lights for the gauges. But I did some extra. I think they were designed to do this. But I did a little extra as far as the filament swaps there. Okay, these are these the same? So I've got a little bit of extra filament in here, I think, than it's supposed to have. Where is... I don't know where that's supposed to be. Let's go this one in the middle then. It's nice that it kind of forces them to be straight. This one goes like that. This guy is going to get in here, but that one gets held in with a screw. What size screw is that? That is a 3x10. Everything on this page is in 3x10. Let's go ahead and do that. It's 4:15. Should I end up in Flash 3 CAN bus tool heads before the kids are up or stay in bed? I would do it. Okay. Holds that in. That is pretty amazingly cool. And then these go up and down, right like that. Okay, there's a dash. There we go. Wasn't quite in, wasn't quite lined up. And then steering wheel. Where is that part? Steering column. Where is the steering column? There it is. Steering column. Where's the touchscreen? This is the 70s. There's no touchscreen. I'm surprised the little red details work so well. Did you use a smaller nozzle? Nope, 0.4 millimeters. 0.4 millimeters. I am so pleased with that. That is so cool. That is so incredibly cool. One of the things I really loved about the Z was the 3 small angled gauges along the top. So this has turn signal and wiper stalks modeled in. And it looks like an M3x10 to attach this to the steering wheel, which I guess goes like that. 3x10. You should be pleased. Is there any direction on this? No, it's symmetric. Oh, is that a breakaway support right there? There is. I missed a support there. See how that's angled there? That's why it looked a little weird. So I should be able to just kind of, yep. That's why that was a little weird. Does the BMW model come without turn signal stalks? That's funny. Isn't that, I thought that was, is that BMW that was doing that? I thought that was, for some reason I thought that was Tesla. Yes, how's the build so far? It is, we had one frustrating part with some captured nuts, but other than that, it's been wonderful. Yeah. BMW drivers who don't use turn signals. Oh, I get it. I get it. This is true. This is very true. As long as my friend Eric isn't here, because he drives a pretty nice little 4 Series. He actually uses his turn signal. Japanese car steering's on the wrong side. The latest version has left-hand drive parts in the model. Okay, I think we're done with this piece. That was, yeah. I'm glad I didn't have to use glue. I didn't want to deal with accidentally getting it all over. Let's see. So that is those. And then use a little force to push the dashboard in place. What do we do here? Oh, and then we've got a battery cover mount to put in and add these screws before placing the battery cover mount to the trunk. What is that? That goes here and there. M3x6s. Oh, I think the cover snaps into those. Okay. It wouldn't be impossible to mirror the dash, would it? I don't know for sure. Let's look at this. Are there features on here that would prevent it from going in? I don't think so. I think you could have just mirrored it. I don't know if that's all they did and just did it for you. But I don't see any features here that would prevent you from doing that. Okay, so this thing goes in here and there are some... Ah, that didn't take that much force. There are 2 screws that are going to hold that in place. I think it's just those 2 screws right there. Oh, it is RC. Yep. M3x10s. Let's get this screwed in. Okay. Make it such a bright, warm color because that sun. See you, John. Okay, this is the battery cover. It does not have a brim in the default G code. I could not get it to not warp this way, so I sliced it myself with a brim. That red really pops on the stream. This is Brad's orange from Jessie Filament, if that's what you're talking about. This is Brad's orange. Printed solid, Brad's orange. It used to be called, I think it was called Brad's orange glitter, but the latest name on it is Brad's orange. It still has a glitter. I have the roll that I started with, I bought probably a couple of years ago. The roll I ended with appears to be exactly the same color. That I can't tell any difference. So different batches seem to be consistent. I need a car tomorrow. Soon. Okay, now let's just kind of do some. Some general quick. Quick scraping. So I had an idea. So I'm talking about my temporary studio in here, and it's really, I mean, it's permanent until I replace it, until I get the other side set up again. So I need to make it as useful, as usable as possible. And right now I'm taking up a huge part of my garage, and eliminating the use of a whole workbench that's behind this setup because I needed a spot to put the computer, the streaming computer. I had an idea the other day for a way I can rearrange this and make the area a little more usable. Let me see. So, because right now I don't want to do any, I can't really do a lot of other work in here that I would normally do in this garage because of this workbench kind of just monopolizing the space. So I got the idea that I think was pretty good, that I'm gonna move this to this back wall over here where the drill press is and my toolbox. There's a little alcove there in between all the cabinets, and this will fit right in there with room for a little table next to it that I can put the computer on. And that'll also give me a better overhead camera mounting solution. And I think that's what I'm gonna work towards. I don't know when I'm gonna do it, but that's gonna free up this whole workbench over here so I can actually use it again and get to the drawers and the areas over here. Because even once the shed is in place, I'm not gonna immediately be able to move back to the other garage. I still have to build a little streaming area in the other garage. Put the streaming computer on a rack and use small Vista host mount computers to network and suspend them from the ceiling. All the... I think that'll contain things a little better over there. And I've got power right on that wall. I have two 20 amp circuits sitting there on that wall. Two dedicated, each dedicated 20 amp circuit. Okay, I need to add 2 of these M3x6 socket heads with the smooth head to the side of this before installing it. This is kind of a long layer line, so I'm going to do this little back and forth kind of cut thread so I don't split it. Turn off my PC by a 5-year-old who wants to play Kerbal Space Program. So those are on there, and then this goes in and it gets held in now. This is going to go in here and it gets held into the floor here by 4 M3x6s. These are the first of the M3x6 button heads I think we've seen. What are we at? 12:30? Wow. It's already been 2.5 hours. So the big sticking point to putting the streaming setup over there is my particular network setup that I use for streaming requires that I have two, because I have two ISPs. I have an ISP that's dedicated for the streaming setup. And that has worked out great because when was the last time I had a stuttering in the stream due to bandwidth? I haven't. I don't think I've even once had that. So the way my computer is set up now is I have two network cards in there, and one of them goes through the setup for the internet, and the other one is so I have access to my local network from here. And so I can't just connect to Wi-Fi or run one, well, I can run one cable over there, but I'm gonna temporarily run just a 50-foot cable over there and plug my little access point that makes all that happen on that wall. So that is amazing. Okay. So I think that's the 4, that's the 2, that's those in there. I think we move on to the next part. So we got the tailgate, and this is the first thing that we have to cut a window for. So let's get the tailgate frame, hinges and spoiler, the tailgate window seal, and the tailgate. And we're gonna have to cut a window here. So we have, this is the tailgate, and I've already removed the, I've removed the built-in supports from this, but I haven't removed the brim. I run a Synology NAS on my network. My first one lasted 13 years. I have an Unraid server that is hosting my, what is it? Ubiquity or Unify. I always get the name of that mixed up, but it's hosting my configuration for that in a Docker. But also it has a ton of storage so I can save things. Unify controller, yeah. This, because I want to get, there we go. I'm holding this on the edge of my table here, just give myself a little more ability to hit this in one stroke to keep that smooth across there. I have a UDM Pro. Yeah, I've started with just the software controller, and it's working well. I haven't run into any limitations from that, but I will end up going with a Dream Machine of some sort if I feel like I need it. Okay, so this actually printed like this with a support going up. I think you see it. You see it here. And then now, was this one? There was one that has these supports on the side that don't actually feel like they touch. I don't remember what that was. Was it the hood or was it something? Oh, it might have been the roof. But, oh, and then we have a couple of things to drill through. This, oh, this isn't the piece. Is that, where do we drill through? Oh, it goes through there. Does that actually drill through there? I'll save that for a minute. Okay. Hey, Bruno. What are you using for glass? I'm using the recommended Tamiya PLA clear sheets. Okay, so at first you'll make a tailgate window glass from any transparent foil up to 0.4 millimeters thick. The thicker material is more durable than thinner, but we found that clear binding covers are okay. Place the tailgate window seal on the foil. Sketch the tailgate glass to foil and then cut the tailgate windows by scissors or sharp knife. Okay, and then that goes in there. I'm just kind of getting myself familiar with what's going on here. Okay, let me gather up this stuff because we need to do this. My small network is already at 6 Ubiquiti devices. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7. Yeah. This is the seal they're talking about. That is going to be hard to hold down and trace. And then I think there's a frame. I think this is the frame. I have enough of this that if I want to redo this and see if I can cut it out on my wife's Cricut, I can try. But as in regards to the new Ubiquiti router controller, it only supports 10 unified devices. Oh, yeah. I remember something about that, and I wasn't expecting to hit it. Although I'm going to be adding one of these. I don't remember what it's the little access point that plugs or bolts to a light switch spot. And this one is the older version with 2 network ports, but the new one has 4. That's what's going to go in the shed. So no laser cutter option. I only have a diode laser, Matt. So I only have a diode laser, so that's not an option. Milo build streams might start within 2 weeks. I don't know if they're going to start this, not tomorrow, but the next Sunday. I should have it by then, but I don't think I'm going to be ready to start it then. So Milo streams will probably be the following weekend. I have a 1 fiber connection, so it takes less time to download. Wow. I have my my main connection here is gigabit cable. My dedicated streaming connection is only 50 megabit down and 10 up. It's a AT&T U-verse, basically DSL connection. I'm making some room here because I need my cutting mat. So this guy on here, and we're gonna try this. Sure, there's nothing major that's going to, oh, that's nice. Maybe we can do this. Then you're not gonna get that immediate glare. But using Taylor's mail service may be longer. It is coming DHL, and a lot of you are going to cringe at that, but DHL is the absolute best way for me to get packages. Let's go up here in the corner and maybe I'll just see if I can just utilize the corner for two bits of that. Think, and that line, some tape, because this thing is really flimsy. So I have a theory, or I think it's more than a theory, I think it's probably correct. DHL is really good for, especially in the West Coast here, because coming from China. It comes into LA, and it's LA, San Francisco, Mather, and then it's here. So LA, San Francisco, Mather, and I usually get things a day or two before they've estimated it's going to be here. I've heard everything I've heard for poor DHL performance is when they're delivering into more deeper into the country from the West Coast, and into more rural areas. You start relying a lot more on the local DHL courier, which can be very hit and miss. Okay, so I'm taping this into the corner, and I've actually got it off by a little bit. Taping this, because that's going to be my, hopefully, reference point. I think it's basically square. If this doesn't work out, I'll try it. I want to keep moving on this and don't want to have to wait for trying it on the Cricut if I don't have to. Okay, then I'm going to grab marker. I don't have anything super fine point, but I think if I just kind of, I want to cut off that corner, so I'm going to mark it there. Here in Michigan, DHL is good too. That's good. I think it probably depends on how far you are from a actual DHL distribution hub. And Mather right here, I can have something arrive at the distribution hub here in Sacramento at afternoon, and it'll still be here that day because I'll just throw it on a courier and send it over. FedEx, no way. It can get here at 2 a.m. on that day, and it won't get here until the next day or even the next day. Okay, so, and then for these straight down. There we go. This thing is just so flimsy, this little PLA part. So, there we go. And that's hopefully all I need to be able to cut that out. FedEx at once got a package 3 months late. I absolutely despise FedEx. I think FedEx is in desperate need of an overhaul, new management, whatever. They need to restructure something. Our USPS just sucks. I get stuff faster from China than from 50 miles away. Any little residue you can pick up with the tack from a piece of tape. Like right there, I'm going to have some residue left over. And gone. Okay, let's just do the scissors. On a 250 Trident build, do you have a procedure you like for getting the reverse Bowden tube to the best length? Not rubbing at the top. I just put well, it's going to rub on the top. I don't worry about it. So if you're saying not rubbing on the top, I can't really give you any advice there because I just let it rub on the top. But otherwise I put the tool head to the furthest point and then just make it just barely long enough to reach. Okay, I'm gonna cut this. I wanna cut to the inside line. I'm gonna cut the straights first and then the corners, and I think we'll just call it good. Now, Takuya had done some DXFs for exactly this. That worked out well. But there we go. This is a pretty simple shape. This, and I've got all kinds of, yeah, it's scratched. So I'll probably end up redoing these because I've been sliding this along on here and I probably caused some scratches doing that. I may redo it, but this will get us going. So, yeah, you can see the scratch there at the top. It might not be visible. I don't know. Okay. What do we do now that we have that piece? We're going to get the tailgate, and we are going to put 2 of those M3x6s on the side, and we're going to put that and that frame. Okay. I'm shipping it. I am. Moving forward. There's nothing that can't be redone later. So these guys go in here, and all this is these are the screws that snap into these spots to close it. And nothing gets redone later. Shush! We don't say that part out loud. We don't say that part out loud. Every project gets revisited to be perfected. Don't diss the FedEx man. He delivered an awesome LDO Micron kit on my doorstep last Monday. It got delivered in spite of FedEx's best efforts, I bet. These are on the edge there. I'm doing the little kind of trying to cut threads as I go idea because I don't want it to split. Okay. I wonder if play. That's going to go on there. That's going to. Interesting. Doesn't really snap in like I thought it would, but we'll find out. Okay, now this piece goes. This is the tailgate window seal. This is. Okay. So that has to go in there like that. Yeah. That goes in there like that. A bigger radius here, smaller radius there. That's how I figured that. Figured which way that goes. And then this, which I'm going to see, I have a microfiber towel around here. I just want to kind of try to rub that. Brand new one. Let's get a little bit of. I think those scratches I saw before is actually tape residue. So let me just. The big scratches were tape residue. Yeah. Okay, so then that goes in there. Okay. This guy. And there's a prop rod for this. Oops. There's a prop rod that goes in here, and this, and it sits on a little piece here. I think that goes something like that. Is that right? This goes in here like that. Yeah. Okay. But there's a couple of sacrificial holes here that need to be drilled. Is that what goes there? Sorry, I need to. Oh yeah, that's what this piece was. Okay. And that is 2mm. Okay. I was wondering, I'm glad I didn't drill through the orange piece, because that's what I thought that was. I misread it. I would absolutely 100% prefer something shipped by UPS than FedEx. And given my history with UPS, that's saying something, I think. Okay, so back here, now we have this, and we have those two in. That goes on there, and this goes into, so I think this has to go on there because it gets captured. So this is going to go in there. This gets captured here. So then that goes in there. There we go. Okay. No fasteners yet. We have a big UPS hub on the north side of town. Okay. And then I need the tailgate hinge. Tailgate hinge right. Okay, tailgate hinges and centerpiece. This is all door stuff. I think this is the tailgate hinge. Yeah, that's the tailgate hinge. And then this. Okay, so I think it's all these pieces for this. What servos are you using the cheap Amazon I got for the mini rescuer not up to the task? I don't know what I would use. The mini rescuer uses, I think, a micro servo, a smaller servo than these. I have a 20 kilogram servo I was probably going to put in this. There are much better servos out there. I'm kind of going with the same stuff that they're recommending for right now. Okay, there is a... What goes in here? What is that? What is that? Oh, it's a coloring issue. So we have a screw there. The painting is messing it up. This is a screw that goes into here. I was trying to see if that was a printed part it was supposed to go in. So 2 screws going into this. That is this orientation. Okay. Metal geared servos whenever possible. Yeah, I agree. And then these go onto here. So I think that goes right there with an M2 by 10. 2 by 10. So hey, Mike. How many people do we have here? 173? Is that what we have? 174. So I think I want to thread this in so that it's, nope, that was too much. Probably want a little bit of friction there. Not a lot, but a little bit. This one is going to go on the other side. Too much. There we go. A little bit of friction there, I think, is good. And then M2 by 6 where? M2 by 6. Oh, and it threads into there. Okay, so then I think this goes on here. 2 by 6. Actually hitting the spot. There we are. There and here. Twists. That's there. Do I put these 2 in? Yeah. Those are M2 by 6s as well. Those window panels UL rated. Not tinted. I think we should tint them. No, not really. There we go. And that actually looks pretty good. Yeah. And just the detail of having a trim piece around there, I think is kind of neat. Yeah, neat. The Euclid probe, no issue. Or those. Okay. What else? Is there anything else on this page we're missing? Oh, spoiler. The spoiler goes on. Neat. So those are M2x8s going into the spoiler. And those... They didn't tell me to drill through here. I guess I need to. Did they tell me to? Yeah. There, but it didn't say to drill anywhere else. But there's no way around that. Spoiler goes on the back there. Okay, where's the spoiler? So this guy go on here. Unfortunately, that blotchy top surface is there. I wonder if that'll clean off. I wonder if that'll clean off at all. I don't think so. I think it'll always be there. Oop. Yeah, it's still got a little bit of that. That's from the hairspray. That's the surface you get with the hairspray. Okay, if that goes through there, that means that these have to have these drilled through. So right? I think there's any way around it. I don't know why they didn't. What was that transparent filament used for the tail lights? I bought, because I didn't want a, I did not want a couple of kilograms of transparent PETG, and I couldn't find great examples of transparent PLA that I wanted. I bought a sample, a 250 gram spool pack of various colors. It was 4 colors. It was green, blue, red, and orange off of Amazon. Okay, now this will go on there with some M2x8s. .3D pen filament, yeah. I looked through, because I used to have a Alien 3D subscription. I looked through there to see if it would happen to have been part of one of those, but no such luck. One more. See, there's an example. That screw went just over. It's technically stripped right now, I think. But that means if it really bugs me, I might reprint that, the spoiler on a textured sheet, and I think it would look a little better. Or a satin sheet, maybe. Okay, that is on. So, what are we at? Oh, we can put it on. So, in 2x6s going into this piece, and we can put this on. That's awesome. This goes in like that. Okay. Actually, let's go here. Four of these. All going into this little piece right here. Look at that. Transparent clear PLA I have in a red. I thought that, I don't remember if I thought of that or if someone suggested it. But it was brought up to take clear filament and color it with a Sharpie. I think someone suggested it. This is so cool. Give it a go before buying even more filament. That locates it. There's a little bit of snap in, but it could be, I might have wanted to use the textured screw heads there. That might be because I'm using these smooth ones, but dude, that is so cool. Okay, so that's that. So now we have windscreen, roof, and floor mats. So more of this. Okay. We might shift around a little bit because I really want to see if I can get these clear panels cut on the Cricut now. We might not do the windscreen. We might get to that point and then maybe do something else and then probably call it. Because we are at the 3-hour mark now. Restart building, carefully remove printing support. So this is the roof. This is the roof. And some of these, the supports that came up this side, I've already taken off. So then I got to do the whole pulling all this brim off. There's some surfaces here. Take another stream to get the rest of it done. Oh, it's not going to be done in. Honestly, I'll be surprised if it gets done in 3 streams, because there's a lot to the suspension. So get the main bits of this off. Let's scrape all of this off. Doing it right over the model. Let's do that over there. We will, like I said, I'm going to prep the rest of the parts before the next stream for this kind of thing. So, see you, Hazardous. That'll save. We would have gotten a lot further if I hadn't wanted to cover some of this. I think there's a groove here for the windshield. I don't think we'll actually be putting this on without the windscreen though. So this might be kind of not really useful time here. Anyway, this is gonna go on here. Sit in here. This. And that covers up all of this stuff. But where is that going to get screwed in? Probably through there. I don't know. Oh, some M2s will go in there. Okay. A little better idea of how that's going to be. Okay, so if we look at the instructions though, that Brad's orange looks so good, doesn't it? They're gonna want us to do some drilling of holes. And here, let's do that real quick just for an additional bit of prepping this. It's not really the best angle to get to this. Maybe I can, yep, and I can't get to it from that side. So there is no drill that's going to, I mean, you pretty much have to use a pin vise like this. And even then, if you don't want to cut it at an angle, basically, oh, there we go. At least it's just a little bit. And then this side. It's just a little bit. One of these, useful. This is the Starrett. I got it off Amazon, so I have no guarantees it's an actual Starrett, but okay, so that's prepped. That is then going to go into, what are we putting here? Windscreen. Oh, this is this piece. Can we put that on right now? I have that. And it should be clear. Yeah. Okay. Let's put that on. So that's just 2 3x8s. This printed like this. So let's put that on. I think what I'll do before the next stream is print all their helper pieces for the windshield, because I'm not positive this still goes on at this point. But we're going to put it on anyway because it's... Found something useful to print besides more printer parts? Do you have a rough estimate of total cost of your build? So there are several colors of filament. So if you disregard filament cost, because you pretty much want to dedicate at least one roll of your body color and one roll of black or whatever. And then you have a smaller amount of suspension parts and other things. So just disregarding filament cost, I think the speed control off Amazon was about $26 for the speed controller, the recommended one. It's about $20 for a brushless motor. The tires I bought off AliExpress, and I think they were about $10. The suspension, the shocks were $10 to $15. I think you could probably get into it under $100 for non-printed part stuff. Under or right about $100. I can't get over how cool this is. I cannot get over it. Okay, so I think at this point they want us to cut this out. They give us a little better template this time at least. And then all of this goes in. Now there's a little video we can watch. I think I'm gonna save this for the next stream. Right now we're gonna take just a little more time, I think, and skip a few steps here. So there's lots of putting in floor mats and that kind of stuff right now. And I don't think I want to get to here yet. What I really wanted to get to was maybe start the transmission, because this can be built as a unit and then go in. Is there a driver for the car? No, but I don't know if they have drivers. 3D Sets has drivers that were originally for the crawlers. I don't know if they will fit in here or not. It's all the same scale, so maybe. How will this car stand up to the vibrations from running on a rough turning? I don't know. I think it would be cool to play around with the motor. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Do I want to go for another hour or more? But I don't think I do. I don't think I do. What if we go back? I think we can put this on without interfering with the ability to put the windscreen on. So let's do that instead. I know I'm being indecisive. This is the way it works. I just figured I kind of want to go until maybe about 1:30, so another 10 minutes or so, maybe a little more. So I think we're gonna do this instead. So we've got this guy, which goes in here, and we're gonna get just a little more sense of scale on this whole thing. So we've got a bunch of screws, and we've got a couple more of these blasted M3 nuts that go in here. So let's just immediately do this. Two hours later. Now, if these things aren't cooperative, then that might not be far off. Oh no, that went in that far much quicker. Yeah, that's fine. That went in just fine. So I think I can get this in here and pull it the rest of the way, or that's all the way, oops, that's that bit, and then I'm gonna get in here and try to grab it. pry it into place. There we go. With enough meat around here, if you can get a corner of it, you can just kind of pry it in. The other ones didn't really have that much meat. I was afraid to do that. There we go. There we go. Now those are in. Then we'll drop it. This guy goes in. Let's this. Get it lined up in the right spot. And then we've got in 3x8, and then in the side here. Yeah. So 3x8s. And 3x8s all around. Four screws. Mm-hmm. You know, the actuality of the way I work is this is going to be a really cool shelf display. It won't see a lot of outside use. That's just the way. That's just what happens. I enjoy the build. There's some things I'll play with for a while. But let's see, the comment in stream chat is, will it just crack on use? I don't think so. I mean, if you're rough with it, of course. One of the selling points that they list on the site is that the front end is easy to replace. You break parts, replace them. The front end is easy to get to, easy to replace, easy to reprint. There we go. Wondering when that was going to tighten up. Those vent slots look really, really good. Oh, yeah. Oh, these, yeah. Yeah, that printed just wonderfully. I'm hoping I'm not gonna have to redo a bunch of stuff. But I really don't want to do the windshield right now. I really want to try to cut it out of with a machine. Okay. Getting more and more of a feel for this thing. Let's do a quick, I know it had this up here. Let's do the quick here. There is a YouTube video here. Let's see what that does take. Let's watch this. So all of this stuff on the front is on when they're doing this. So right away, I'm feeling pretty okay about doing some more of this stuff. So, I mean, get that stuff in, get that on. And then I think this other helper just kind of holds the bottom in. It screws in where the wipers screw in. Yeah, that's the helper. And I think it just holds the bottom there. So I think we can keep wrenching a little bit without having to worry about that. We can get the front fenders on maybe. Really make it look 240. Yeah, we'll revisit that. Let's keep going. I like that. That's there. That is going into there. We can snap in the floor mats because there's nothing that's going to get in the way there. So the floor mats here. We got pedals and not. So we got these have little tabs to snap in. Now, which way do these? Let's click into place. So, up like that. I don't know how much they actually click into place. I'm not feeling anything that they could click into. Ah, there we go. Just barely. I think the same thing here. There we go. 4-plate. Pressure fit. Oh, there's little tabs that click in. They just, it's a very small spot. Very thin. Okay. Then back to the front body work. Okay. Yeah, we're good. So now this goes on with some M3x6s. Probably like that. This guy here. Baby asleep, toddler waking in 3, 2, 1. What size is your pin vise? Trying to find it on Amazon. Stir it. I don't know. Are you on the Discord, John? If you let me know, just do in the Poke Steve, I can find it in my Amazon. order history, or I can look it up here in a second. It won't take very long. This is looking so good. Take just half a moment. It's on tab open already. Start. Let's see if that comes up. It is the 162C. Let me post it. I'm not sure. I don't know what's out there. This is just what I bought as far as pin vices. It's kind of hard to tighten down on a small drill bit, and it's a little rough. I mean, there's lots of texture here, but you use this a lot and it's kind of wearing on your hand. So it's nice quality. But just because I post that link doesn't mean I fully endorse this, because I haven't tried. This is the only one I've had. So anyway, that's the one that I bought. And that's not an affiliate link or anything. So, okay. So that's on, and then there is a nut that we're supposed to put in here. Did I? Oh, I see. There's two nuts. And they go, oops, right on these corners. And those are just regular hex nuts. Will these stick in there and stay, or do I need to? I think they probably will. Yeah. There we go. I don't think those are going to fall out. There's enough friction there. Trying to do this upside down. Ah. Okay. Where'd that go? Oh. So trick, I'm gonna put a magnet on here, and then that's going to hold the nut in place, lined up. There we go. Then I can get it in there. I got one in an alien UFO a few months ago. It works well. Nice. I have the Starrett set of pin vices. I think the rough handle helps when drilling through harder material. Helps the grip. Okay. Like I said, I just don't have any. It seems to work fine. I don't know if there's better out there. Okay. Those nuts are in. I think that finishes off this step. I'd like to get the front fenders on. Hey, there we are. Front fenders. And I don't think there's much for post-processing on these. So this is, there was no brim, so it's all just on this surface. It printed like this, printed just like this with this support that pops right off. I think that's the only support. So those are good. Now, was there an inside support? There might, well, no, I think that's the same support. Okay. Whew, lots of stuff here. So I got the fronts. Those didn't have supports either. Two of these. And I got all the lights. Where's the silver box? Headlights. There's two of those. And the two hood things. It's that one and that one and the other headlight. There it is. I think that's all the printed parts I need for here. Yep. Hey, Derek, welcome. Hey, Pezliz, welcome. Look at this thing. Isn't this cool? It's about to look way cooler here in a second. It's about to up the cool notch. Okay, so if we are looking at, I think those go like that. So here, let's do this. So if this is here, this is a headlight, snaps in like that. Mark, thanks for the 5 pounds. Thanks for sharing your awesome build of this awesome model. No problem, I'm having fun. As long as we're not putting in captured nuts, then I'm having a grand old time. Okay, so those go in there. And then, so this will be this side and here. And there's a M3x8 that holds this on. Oh, this is a bit of a tough angle. I'm gonna get that in there and use my ball driver. There we go. It sounds so horrible. Okay, so that is there. This one doesn't go in yet. Oh yeah, 2 3x8s. One that goes in here. What do we have? Crunch, crunch. You can hear that, huh? It's really bad in person. If I wanted to really annoy the headphone users, I'd turn off the filter. Okay, and then there are M2x6s holding these on. So where's my little? So I assume these are the exact same part for the tailgate as for the hood here, because I did not distinguish between them when I was grabbing them for the tailgate. I didn't quite realize they were the same part. That's that. And we do the same thing over here. They have this driver, so let's start with it. Yep, there we go. 8. So loud. So loud. Okay, is that all of the fasteners for this page? I think so. Oh boy. I'm adding a ball bearing filament switch to the M4. Oh, neat. That is actually quite good. Okay, these go on. This is gonna really help the look here. It clicks, slides on. There are step 1 tighten bottom screws, step 2 tighten front screws. Okay, so if this is on there, this here, that goes there. Looks like everything, looks like the snap feature is this coming up into that spot. So, is there anything here? You know, that's gotta go. Oh, there we go. Oh, you hear that? You didn't get a great view of that. But that snapped into place. Okay, step 1 is tighten that screw, which is an M3x8. It is pretty large. It goes right into there. That body line is good. Better gaps than a Tesla, right? And then there's 2 screws in the front that get tightened in second. And all gaps on a Tesla are awful. That's the joke. What printers did you print the parts on? This is almost exclusively done on my Mark IV because I bought the model and I noticed that there was pre-sliced G-code for the Mark IV. So I threw this orange on there and printed the back parts, and they turned out absolutely perfect. So I just kept going with it. There are a couple areas where I had to slice my own file, and there are a few parts like the roll cage and stuff I was playing around with printing with the switch wire I just built. So those were done on the switch wire. But everything else is the is on the Mark IV. Okay, so that goes there. This is all. There we go. Do you happen to know how many screws for the model? Yes, we looked at that a little bit ago. There is a page in the instructions here, and the real answer is all of them. There's all of the screws, but there are a significant number of screws, really. Not a huge variety of screws compared to maybe some of their earlier models, but there are like there's 91 of these M3x8s, I think. What speeds do you typically print on the switch wire? I can't go much over 100 mil without Y-axis shifting on mine. I was printing sub 20-minute benchy stuff the other day, which I know isn't ridiculous, but I was doing that without any mechanical issues. Print quality was not good, but I think I can probably tell you what my print speed was. Here, my print speed. This is not. My computer rebooted for an update, and it didn't save last settings. But I was playing with this, and I think the last thing I had printed, I had basically bumped everything to 300. And I think 400 travels, and I think I set accelerations to 10,000. So this did not result in a great looking benchy, but the mechanics took it. So this is what I wanted to see. Getting it to this point. Okay, where are we? The next bit. So that's all of those. Slide it on, screw those in, it clicks. Get those two. Then we got radiator, grill, bumper, and door sills. I think this is a good point. So I think this is a good point to kind of call it. This thing. Look at this. And really, there we go. The dash details. What real life look-alike is this RC car? It's a 1970 something Datsun 240Z. Now just imagine once we put the fender flares on, get the tires in here. I mean, you can look at the picture on the website, but that is, or maybe, oh yeah, that's a good color. And I mean, this gives you a good idea of size too. I mean, they said, what did they say? 20 and a half inches. Yeah, it's got a little bit more on the front to go. And then we're about a little over 8 inches wide. Very happy with that. And I'm pretty pleased with the progress today. Keeping going on this, I'm not gonna guess, but I'm hoping we can do this in 3 streams. I'm hoping to have this done within that 5 or 6 week window. So the next stream, like I said, is going to be mid-February. So like 2nd or 3rd weekend in February, unless I'm missing something and I can't do that, but that's the intent. And the 3rd stream, because I'm 90% sure that we can't get this done in two streams. So the 3rd stream will be beginning of March, like 1st weekend of March. And then I might try to do a 2nd stream in March just to get us back on track. Because otherwise it could be a 6 or 7 week break between member streams. And there's nothing that says I can only do 1 member stream a month. So, I mean, even the underside, once this is all done, it ends up looking so good, so detailed. Can I form more info about the reason for the oh, that's camp. Oh, okay. Have you done any interaction with Harley Designs? No. Oh, he's in the Sac area somewhere? I have seen some of those videos when I was into building my my axial SCX2, SCX10-2, whatever the model is. That's the crawler that I have. And I'd watch some of their videos around that. But there we go. And one of the really cool things about this is this door handle is what you lift to open the door. Oh, the bonnet put in place. It's a good call. I opted for the body color bonnet. Looks like a popular option is going to be to print it black, but why only one member stream? Generally, member streams are one because I have to be able to do other things. If I did a member stream, more than one member stream a month, it gets a bit much because I have to use Saturday usually to catch up on prep for other things. So doing more than one in a month would be a little bit arduous. So anyway, yeah. Members do pay. Yep. I do at least one Charlie stream per month, and then the regular Sunday streams and Tuesday streams now. So I see a red hood and I want to paint it black. That's a reference to something I'm not getting. Yeah. So with that, I think we're gonna call it. Thank you all for being members. Stick around for the rest of this build, and tomorrow we will start on the Rook build. I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I've got to finish printing stuff today. We will at least get through unboxing and start putting things together, and then we'll figure out where we either stop or keep going on that. So, are the Polymaker pop colors only available for ASA? I think so. So, with that, take care everyone. Have a good rest of your day. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow, same time, starting on the Rook. So keep an eye out later this evening for that stream to get posted, and we'll see you then. See you later. Thanks again. Enjoy your builds. Bye.